Hey Capricorn, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works, we leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your storyline on this reading, go check your other major placements. Major placements are Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What is up? I'm feeling very spacey all of a sudden. Very spacey. Well, it'll be interesting if you check out your other major placements, because the readings this week, we've got two great ones, and then the rest are sort of like in some sort of level of hell. It's really interesting. We have the highest highs and the lowest lows. So it'll be interesting to see if you guys get, one of the great ones and one of the bad ones, or I wouldn't say bad. There's just like a lot of intensity this week so far. A lot of swords. It's just a straight swords week. I remember when I first started reading about the swords, when I first started learning about tarot like 8 years ago, it terrified me. And the writer was like, I wish I could remember her name because she's really amazing. It's a very amazing book. And she was like, most people are scared of the sword suit. And I was reading the meetings, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That seems like a sane thing. And she was like, but I love them because they come in with the truth that cleanses. That truth that feels good. But some of them are about lying and cheating, so I don't know. Oh, right. We are trying to do this Botanical Inspirations deck and get some botanical inspiration. And then after that, we're going to move to a traditional tarot spread with the Golden Tarot. All right. Here we have our little bouquet. Oh, it's like matchy-matchy. Here we have Bellflower, Gratitude. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates vision for tomorrow. Melody Beatty. But the thing about gratitude too is, the happier we can be with what we have, the more likely we're going to be able to be happy with more with what we don't have, with what we want in the future, right? So if we can be happy today, it preps us to be happy in the future. If we're not happy today until everything's just so in the future, that gets postponed and put off. So gratitude for whatever measure of health and well-being and wealth that you do have today. So gratitude for today kind of preps us up for tomorrow. And then we have Iris, rainbows and messages. When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. Oh, I see where this reading's going now. We're going to be in a position where we're looking for rainbows and for stars. Coreopsis. Oh, here you go. Messages. Rainbows and messages. And then we have Coreopsis, always joyful. Write it on your heart that every day is the best day of the year. Ralph Waldo Emerson. And there's that, always joyful. Okay, gratitude, joy. We might be struggling to find that in some sort of, maybe we can just ignore the when it rains part and just look for rainbows, and when it's dark part, and we'll just be stars and rainbows. Gratitude, always joyful. Because that's life. All right, Capricorn. Oops, there we go. There's your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Well, okay. We got a bunch of queens here, so a lot of people in their own vibe, vibing with themselves, figuring out what they think, what they feel. But first, we're going to start with Five of Wands, conflict. In your recent past, there's been a lot of conflict, a contest maybe for, get some focus here. A contest about who wants what, who wants, a contest of wills, a contest of wills, a contest of ideas, of who wants what. There's been some push and pull, and maybe some arguing. Maybe some arguing about whose ideas take priority, whose ideas take precedence. This is the darkness before the dawn. We have this. We have this cock up here crowing, letting everybody know that It's dark, but dawn is coming. Dawn's coming. So the argument ended. But it was sort of this contest at night. It was like this brawl, this sort of street brawl. Maybe a little immaturity involved. Yeah, a contest of wills and strength and power. And then in your current situation, this could be you or this could be somebody else. It's probably a person because it is a court card. Here we have your Queen of Coins. Someone's very focused on their work, on their money, and climbing the corporate ladder. They have a lot of faith in their own abilities. I mean, look, she's got a coin as her halo. As her halo. That is money on the mind. She's worked hard for something and she's not about to give it up. This is something in the real world, probably being a coins thing. It's probably something tangible, not a theory, not just a feeling, but something very tangible. So money, work, but it could also be things like cars and properties and houses. And the queen vibe, male or female, is someone who, it's a person who is very in touch with what they want out of a situation and what they need out of a situation. So it's someone who's very focused on their work, on their money, what they're going to need out of this situation. It's not a bad thing because we have to, if we're having negotiations like this, we need to come in knowing what we want, knowing what we're prioritizing. This is someone who has a priority of their own career and building their own wealth. And that's their priority and that's their focus, their money, their career, their wealth. This is not bad inherently. This is just where they're coming from and where their focus is right now. And there's different times in our lives to focus on different things. So this could be you or this could be somebody else. So if it's you, you're just focused on your career right now. You got to focus on that if you want to go anywhere with it. Eventually, you better focus on it and, make steps, make your moves. And then, this is really interesting because there's some parallel with Sagittarius here. But the Hierophant card is in your inner landscape, your hopes, your fears. So Hierophant card can be dealing with institutions. You may be very worried about having to deal with an institution, having to deal with maybe an employer, some sort of having to do with schools, some sort of institutional, like the bureaucratic part of it. He's got the keys. Somebody else has the key. You may want to be this person, and people have to beg this person for what they want, and then they go and you have to say you want something. You have to go find someone that works there. He's the guy that works there. He was on a break for 15 minutes. His break was entitled to him by law. So he was on his breaks for 15 minutes. So people were looking for him and he was on his break, and then they found him, and now he's just going to slowly walk over to the case and he's going to open up the case so you can buy a fucking comb, right? A 50-cent comb that they kept in a locked up case for some reason. So he's that bureaucrat that you're looking for and that you need to help. So there might be something that you need. You're going to have to ask for help from something, and it's sort of bureaucratic, it's sort of institutional, and it's not your favorite thing to do. Or you could be hoping for institutional help, like maybe, if I ask for help from these people, but it is someone in power, and it's your hopes and fears. Maybe you're the one maybe you hope to get that promotion to be that guy that slowly walks towards the case with his keys in his hand when he wants to, when he feels like it. It can also have to do with faith too. We're also seeing a sapphire. The Queen of Coins wears a sapphire necklace, having to deal with faith, and the Hierophant is wearing a sapphire ring, also having to deal with faith. So, and he's looking at her and she's looking at her own thing. She's looking out at the world and finding her place in the world, and he's focused on her, and while she's focused out there. Or gender, taking away the gender, you is focused on somebody else who's very focused on their career right now and on their money, and that's where their priorities lie right now. You may be angry with them about it. You may be frustrated with it. It may be blocking you somehow. It may be very upsetting and frustrating. You may be worried about it, worried about where they're going with this. I mean, the Hierophant isn't powerless, but the other people in this card are. And they're supplicants. They're asking and begging for power from somebody. So the Hierophant can also be a very spiritual card, getting connected very spiritually. I think it's really interesting how we have several cards in the deck where the institutional version of the original intent, and so they're very different, right? So the institutional version of faith. So the Hierophant can be the faith, and you're looking at this person, wondering if you can trust them, wondering what they're up to, what they're about, trying to have faith. Your faith is smaller than this other person's faith. Looking very suspiciously, or it can be the institution that got built up around faith, which has very little to do with faith, and is more about rules and control. So you could be hoping to have faith, trying to have faith, but also maybe having to deal with an institution. I don't like the Hierophant card very much because it does have a couple different directions we can go, which is great for a general reading, actually. So, and then what's at issue here is this Ace of Coins. This Queen of Coins, somebody here, could be you, is looking to, the Queen of Coins also is a very slow moving energy. She's been plotting something for a very long time, and plotting, and she's worked very hard for something. She's not about to give it up, right? And lose focus now. This Ace of Coins is some sort of new beginning not coming in. Like you were expecting some money, you were expecting a job. It didn't come. It didn't show up. Where is it? Where is this new beginning to show up? It's almost like a piece of the puzzle is missing. Yeah, a piece of the puzzle is missing. It's almost like it's a physical puzzle. It's a physical piece of the puzzle. It has to do with money. It has to do with work. There's a piece of the puzzle missing with money-wise or something like that. Some sort of new beginning was supposed to come in here, but it's missing. There's a hole here, it's just like this coin got popped out of this hole. And now here's the puzzle, here's the whole thing going on right here. And this coin isn't where it's supposed to be. It was supposed to like, bing, here we go. And, or, you know, just in the reverse, it's supposed to be in there. In the upright, I would say, you know, there's like a hole punch here. And here's your new beginning kind of punched through here. And you have a new beginning in something, but you don't. So it feels like there's a piece of the puzzle missing, actually. That piece isn't supposed to be loose. It's supposed to be sitting right in that portal there where things come into your realm, into your garden, and it didn't. It didn't. In your environment, you have a person, Queen of Swords here. Probably a person. It's probably not you. They're getting really focused on what they want, a truth of some kind that they're going to bring in here, an understanding. They're getting very focused on how they understand a situation, how they see the situation. It's going to change things pretty dramatically when they come in with this communication, because they are going to communicate it to you eventually. It's almost like a continuation of this fight that you thought was over. And here they're going to come in with this new truth, new communication. It's like it's been a week or, you know, whatever time since you had this argument, and they come and they've thought about it. They thought about where they stand. They thought about what they think. And then they come in, they're like, and another thing. And you're like, what the fuck? I thought this was over. I thought we were done here. And they're like, nope. We're not done here, because I figured out some things in here, and now I'm going to bring it to you, and I'm going to communicate what I think. So again, we have a queen. We have someone who's very focused. This is external to you. This is somebody you know. They're very focused on what they want. They're very focused on how they see something, on what they understand, and what they want to communicate to you. They're going to come in. It's going to be changing. It's going to change the game. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it is sitting right underneath this argument, so it feels like a continuation of an argument you've already been engaged in for a while, and they're going to come back with a little bit of a truth bomb here. Your to-do list is to be very stubborn and to hold your ground. I don't think that's going to be hard. That's not hard for any Capricorn I've ever met. Be stubborn. Hold your ground. You are not moving. Normally, this is a bad card. This is like you're being too stubborn, but this is in your to-do list. This deck is like, it is time for you to employ the stubborn. Like, go, stubborn. Do you remember Inspector Gadget? Anyway, go, stubborn swords. Block this. Block it. Block it, block it, block it. Do not deal with it. Do not engage with it. Block it. Because you know, at the beginning here, we have this argument that's been going on. And then we have someone coming in with a sword. They want to change their dynamic. They want to change something that maybe they already agreed to. But now they've had a chance to think about it and figure it out, and they don't like it. And this is their perspective and what they're bringing in here. And here's your job. Blocked. Do not go this route. Don't engage with it. This is total, stubborn, blocked. You staying put. Look how heavy that stool is. That's your stool, and you're staying on it, right? This is such stubborn energy. It is time for you to employ the stubbornness, and look, they're facing off. This queen's like, I know this. This is what I think now. This is what I think, you know. And another thing, and you're like, and another thing. Oh, bitch, don't even. We're not even doing this. You could be worried because this is, look at everybody in here giving each other side eye. We've got you here, the Hierophant, worried about having to deal with some sort of institution or some sort of Hierophant thing. Here we've got the Queen of Coins, very, very focused on her money. And you guys are, look at you, you're giving each other stink eyes. Well, she's focused on her money, and you don't like it. That's your hopes and fears. You're worried about her. You're eyeing her, and you're very worried about her, or him, whoever is represented by this Queen of Coins. I wish they were gender neutral terms, and then also had non-gendered dress, because I feel like it can sometimes get confusing, at least for me. It's like, and she's like this, and it's like, no, well, it could be somebody very focused on their own money, very focused on what's going on, and you're the one kind of looking at them askance, or worried about them, or worried about having to engage with them in some sort of institutional way here. And your new beginning didn't come in here. There's a piece of the puzzle missing. Maybe she provides it. Maybe she's like, and I stole a piece of the puzzle. Remember that argument we had a while ago? Yeah, well, I didn't like it. So I stole a piece of your puzzle, and you've been looking for it for 2 weeks now, and I have it. So I just don't like this. That she's trying to continue what feels like settled law here. And she's like, nope, and another thing. And then you're like, blocked. No, you cannot pass here. I'm not letting you mess with me this time. Blocked. And look, they're glaring at each other. They're just glaring at each other. I love it. Man, the conflict in this is like rich. It's like palpable. Okay, and then we have this Five of Swords, where you're going. This is winner take all. This is winner take all energy. Someone else had this. This is a situation. It's a no-win situation. Nobody wins in this situation. This is probably why you're pissed and why you're worried, is because you know that there's an ability here to bring in a no-win situation. And that's exactly where you're headed here. No-win situation. Maybe if you don't block, like, because your stubbornness is standing in the way. Look at this whole bottom thing is so swords, ideas, words, verbal, like that's what I was saying with this. Verbal argument, and this whole bottom row is verbal. See, this is what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing this person very focused on what they think, what they want. They want to continue the argument. They have more to say. You're going to block them. If you don't block them, you end up in a no-win situation. No-win situation. Somebody steals, somebody gets stolen from. Somebody's the windshield, somebody's the bug. I hate these situations, but every so often life provides them for us. And sometimes when life doesn't provide them, the assholes and bullies in our life provide them for us. They create no-win situations out of the ether and drop them on our doorstep. And there's not a lot we can do about that at that point. So somebody wins, somebody loses. Nobody's walking away with what they came with. And look, this guy won, but is he happy? No, it's a Pyrrhic victory. I won all the swords. But what does it mean? It means nothing. It means nothing to him. He doesn't even give a shit anymore. So it's just winning for winning's sake. I mean, there is like, but you're to block whatever advance this Queen of Swords comes in with. All right, Capricorn, another perky reading for the week. I swear, though, no matter what deck I'm using, this Five of Swords is medieval. It's crazy. It's difficult. And Two of Swords here. The Queen of Swords is always focused on her own thing. So anyway, gratitude, always joyful. Look for the messages. I feel like this is such a... All right, Botanical Inspirations, get with the program here, okay? There's a lot of shit happening and you're too cheerful. Always joyful. Rainbows, maybe you just refuse to let them ruin your day. It's like, no, you wanna fight, you wanna bring in the sword, you wanna have a much, these swords getting involved worries me, because this was just sticks. This was just words, just sparring, and these swords getting involved, people could lose an eye, like an arm, a leg, a head. Someone could get beheaded here, especially with this church involved. Someone could, I mean, these swords make it dangerous. It's much more pointy, much more sharp conflict here than what went on before. But, be grateful for what you do have. Be always joyful. And rainbows and messages. We don't have any rainbows here. Okay. And then in the wild Kuan Yin, what do we have? Okay, wild energy. Okay. We have this one. This is good things are coming. It's springtime. There's some wild energy right now, but good things are coming. This new beginning, this puzzle piece might fit now. Blessings bestowed. There is no end to the Divine Mother's ingenuity and grace. No obstacle can obstruct her generosity and protection. So get used to the feeling of the joy of knowing something truly precious is going to unfold in your life. Nurture that feeling like you would the readiness for spring in your heart when winter is upon you. So I feel like an echo of this. Like it might be dark, it might be rainy, winter may be upon you, but there is going to be a spring. There's going to be a spring. And then we have sort of reflection, rebirth, renewal. Another message of spring here, growing towards rebirth. It is easy to love the butterfly, a symbol of hope and emergence into new life. The path of the caterpillar may seem somewhat blessed, somewhat less blessed. Yet, without the caterpillar, the butterfly cannot be, except that which is ending, so you can open up and receive that which is beginning. Turn this baby around, right? That is the flow of life. So something's ending, and I mean, both of these reference sort of, a spring coming, but you're in winter right now, but maybe there are some signs of spring you need to be looking for. And then again, we have another winter card, Sister of Shambhala. Put your faith in the light and believe that good things can and will happen. These all have kind of a little same theme here, right? We do not need to deny the darkness. Yeah, we don't need to deny it because you're in the dark here. Nor do we need to place our minds there. There are lighter dwelling places into which our minds can settle. Trust in the spring that follows the winter. Wow, 3 of them talking about spring. And I feel like this makes sense now. This always joyful. You're not going to... There are lighter dwelling places into which... This is a heavy read, right? But make sure your mind's doing what it can to stay positive because there's a spring coming. So I really like that. I feel like this wild Kuan Yin brought in a much needed spring idea in this heavy reading and made sense of the first bit. So a little bit of difficulty in here, but bookended by some really positive messages to stay positive. Spring's coming. Don't let whoever this Queen of Swords is fuck with you. So I hope you're unfuckable with this week, Capricorn. Thank you so much for your likes, comments, and subscribes. I very much appreciate them. And I hope you have a wonderful week.